So what is going on, guys? I am BlackOpsAmazing. Welcome back to another video on the channel where today I am going to break down and take a closer look at the gameplay trailer for Alpha Omega. Treyarch have just shown it in their live stream, and alongside this they also showed a bunch of other gameplay as well that we don't see in this trailer. So there is other things that have been revealed that we have seen in that stream that we don't see here. If you want to check that out for yourself, I think it's still available on Treyarch's YouTube channel. But like I said, for this video I want to take a look and break down exactly what we can see in the Alpha Omega gameplay trailer. As I'm sure you know, the map does release tomorrow, so there's only going to be a few hours between you watching this and playing the map for yourself if you do have it. But you know what, let's just get into this. I believe the achievements have already been leaked or have released. I haven't seen them as of yet. I might take a look at them, I'm not too sure. But anyway, so we kick off into the trailer and the first thing we see is a sign above the Nuketown camp which says, "Welcome to Camp Edward." This is obviously weird because why it is a Broken Arrow facility, a Broken Arrow testing site called Camp Edward. We already have one Edward in our storyline, which is Richtofen. Why is his name being associated with something that belongs to Broken Arrow, who are the Americans? So as to why part of the site called Camp Edward, we don't really know as of yet. But remember, in Classified, Richtofen did kind of team up with the Americans. He went over to the Pentagon. He told them all of Group 935's secrets. He offloaded some of Group 935's scientists to them, like Dr. Schuster. He went to work with them. Richtofen did give the Americans a ton of information, and since the Pentagon and Broken Arrow are joined together, they became a group. Possibly due to Richtofen helping them out, they named the camp after him. I don't know. And I do have to say the map looks nice. I believe they said it was 400 times larger than the original, so it's 4 times as big, just over that. Obviously we can go underground into the bunker as well. There seems to be different layers, maybe 3 or 4 different levels. We have lightning going off in the sky and stuff like that, and we've also been told that we are playing as the Ultimis and PRIMIS crew. Now, he didn't explain exactly how that's going to work. I don't believe we are going to have 8 players on a map. I think this means we can play as 2 different versions of the crew, so we can play as Ultimis Richtofen along with PRIMIS, Nikolai, Takeo and Dempsey, or we can play as PRIMIS Richtofen along with Ultimis, Nikolai, Takeo or Dempsey. I think that's how it's going to work, and of course we also know that Nikolai is now the leader, which is going to be weird as to how that's going to work if we're playing as Ultimis Nikolai. Maybe PRIMIS Richtofen will become the leader if we don't play as him. Like I said, I don't know 100% how it works, but all throughout the trailer we see this face on the computer screen. We'll see it later on. We don't know who this is, although a lot of people have speculated that this could be Cornelius Purnell. The last time we heard about him was in Classified, where he was talking about the Americans taking control of the zombies. The Pentagon wanted to use Samantha as a weapon, whereas Purnell wanted to do things a little bit differently, and he wanted to take Samantha's power off her and kind of use it for himself. So I'm thinking maybe this is him that we are seeing. We can see in this trailer the zombies do have white eyes. Possibly Purnell is in control of them, maybe somewhere between Classified and this map. He managed to gain control. We also do see an MPD pyramid in Broken Arrow's facility here, so I think that could be one scenario, or maybe this is just showing that the cycle is now broken. We haven't actually seen a map, well, I guess besides from Classified, but we haven't really seen what happens after the cycle is broken, so possibly that could explain the white-eyed zombies, but it very well could be that Purnell is in charge. Anyway, we see more story-related stuff. Someone has wrote in blood here, "Turn back whilst you still can." And I also want to mention, before I forget, I noticed that PRIMIS Richtofen in Alpha Omega still has the blood vials. Why? The other PRIMIS characters, Takeo or Nikolai Dempsey, don't. We know in Blood of the Dead they destroyed all of the vials, they don't need them anymore, the cycle is broken. And again in Classified, which takes place after Blood, we saw in the outro cutscene the characters don't have the vials, yet in Alpha Omega, PRIMIS Richtofen has the blood again. Now we know there are many different versions of him out there. One version of him died in quotation marks, or at least we think he did, in Blood of the Dead. We then got to Classified where Richtofen was suddenly alive again. It seems to be a different version of him. And then in Alpha Omega, we see another Richtofen. Whether it's the same one or different, we don't know. However, he now has the vials Again, why would he need them if the cycle's broken? We learnt in Blood of the Dead that the blood was one of the main reasons why the cycle would continue in the first place, so why would PRIMIS Richtofen have them once again in Alpha Omega? Like I said, we don't know which version of PRIMIS Richtofen we are seeing here. I'm thinking that it could be the other Richtofen that we saw in the Blood of the Dead intro cutscene. Remember when they both met in the basement and one of the Richtofens left through the portal, leaving the other one trapped in Alcatraz to die? Maybe this is that other Richtofen that left at the start of Blood of the Dead. I don't know, but like I said, and I'm sorry to keep saying that, but the blood vials, why does PRIMIS Richtofen have them? But we progress, we see more of the map, we see the perks are returning, not the older ones like Juggernog and stuff like that, which, you know, I wish that was the case, but it isn't. Obviously, there's a storyline part to that as well. We know Monty was in control of the old perks, so possibly he's not helping us anymore. We don't know, which is something else that's interesting. We can clearly see we have the mystery box and wall weapons, but is it still Monty who's going to be giving them to us? Surely if we're going to kill him and he knows that we're going to do that, he won't be helping us anymore. There's just so many questions that I don't have the answer to. We can see we have the Nuketown bus in the middle. We know that this takes place before the original Nuketown, or at least I believe it does. And no, this isn't the bus that Ted drives. However, we have actually seen Ted in Alpha Omega already. I'm not too sure if it's in this trailer as I'm going through it, but it was definitely in the gameplay that they showed on stream. So Ted is making an appearance in Alpha Omega. We are going to find him in the bunker. And again, we know that he was made by the scientists over at the Pentagon. So we'll see what he's doing here. Maybe he's going to help us. And then just as we go down into the lower levels of the bunker, we can see the computer screens of Broken Arrow's facility, but we see what looks to be a mannequin head turning. It is a robot disguised as a mannequin. Of course, we had the mannequins in the original Nuketown, but they didn't move. However, we can see this one is a robot. It's moving its head. Is this Ted? The bunker does look really cool, but I don't want to point out the obvious stuff. We then have some writing on the wall here. I can't quite tell what it says. It's a bit too far away, but if you zoom in, it says day 9 to my mother. Then it says something to my father, something else. Gift is something not long now, or something like that. Not long God. Obviously, someone's been trapped down here for 9 days. We know in the original Nuketown, Malton was down here. If you knife the bunker, you could actually hear him. And Craig Houston did say in the live stream that they are going to explore that in this map. So maybe this is Malton that wrote that. Was he trapped down in the bunker for 9 days? It seems like he's writing a goodbye message to his family just in case he didn't make it out maybe. We see the Broken Arrow logo, more writing on the wall that says there's something wrong with the machines. What machines exactly? Maybe the MPD pyramid that we'll see later on down here. Possibly the machines refers to the mannequins, as we've just saw one of them as a robot. We have the Pack-a-Punch, somebody's office here. I'm not sure whose this would be. And all over this map, there seems to be writing everywhere on the walls. We see more of the facility with lightning absolutely everywhere. There are the White-Eyed Zombies, which again, who is in control of them? No one. Is it Purnell? Is it still Samantha? Honestly, I'm so excited for this map. They said that this is going to be the biggest narrative, the biggest storyline yet. If you think of like Easter eggs and storylines in past maps like, I don't know, Blood of the Dead, I would say is one of the biggest we've had, and Revelations. Well, apparently Alpha Omega, the storyline and Easter eggs in this, contains much more than any previous map. As we go down into the bunker, there are different areas. There is the bed section, the generator area, and then we see everything gets locked off, everything shuts down. It says on this little thing here, there are 4 different sections, so maybe there are 4 different floors, and there looks to be a lockdown system. And then we see one of our new enemies in this map. Now, without watching the stream, I can't remember what Craig Houston called these, but they look to be a mutated version of the crawlers. If you guys can remember the names, or I'll probably go back and comment it after I make this video, and then I'll pin it. But this is one of the new enemies, I assume, made by Broken Arrow. This is more than likely one of their bio experiments that we saw in the comics. We then see some weapons, the Pack-a-Punch machine, the Galvanuckles are returning. We then get to see the Elemental Ray Gun Mark II, and we can see here the different elements. There is the green, which I assume is the normal ray gun. There is then a yellow element, an orange element, a pink element, and a blue element as well. And we can see here from the gameplay, it looks like blue is electricity. Actually, that might be purple, I can't quite tell, but that is one of them. And also dual wielding ray guns. The last time we saw this was in Gorod Korovi, which was the ray gun Mark III. And then finally we see Broken Arrow's version of the MPD. As we saw in Classified, they were making their own MPD pyramid in the facility, so this is it. There seems to be someone inside, and then on the screen after that, we see this person on the computer once again, which makes me think, is this showing him inside of the MPD pyramid? It would make sense in terms of story, since that's what he was trying to do in Classified, or at least that's what it sounded like he wanted to do. That was his goal, to take Samantha's power. So maybe it's Purnell in there, which explains the white-eyed zombies. I've also seen some people say that it's the Avogadro in there, which to me personally doesn't make too much sense. We know the Avogadro was created by Broken Arrow due to a failed experiment, although we never know. Some people have also said it could be Samantha. I don't know, but there is definitely someone in there. We then see one of the new versions of a Hellhound. Got electricity coming from it. I believe this is actually the Boomer Crawler. I think that's its name that they were talking about in the stream, but this is one of the new versions of the Crawler that shoots out electricity blasts. And then finally we see the MPD again. There is a blue glow coming from the inside, and it begins to open. Who is inside? And of course, all throughout this trailer, we hear someone in a deep voice talking to us, and at the end he says, "Do you really think you can contain me?" So, there we go guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Are you excited for this map? There is so much in this trailer, and there was so much in the stream as well, but the map is tomorrow, so we don't have to wait for too long, and all should be revealed then. So drop a like rating if you have enjoyed, make sure you are subscribed if you aren't already. Thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye.